Jimmy Kimmel gets his show back, and Trump immediately posts this. Let's break it down. I'm not sure why Trump would even post this. You should never put anything in writing, but let's go through it step by step. Before I get into the breakdown of this, let's go over some of the moral and legal parts of what he wrote here. Here he says, the White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled. Why would ABC tell the White House his show was canceled? This is basically him admitting that the White House and ABC were contacting each other about canceling his show, which is a clear First Amendment violation. Here he says that Jimmy puts the network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage. So he's saying the network is in jeopardy. Why are they in jeopardy? Because Jimmy Kimmel is being positive about Democrats. There's no other way to read that than a threat. He's saying the crime here is being positive towards Democrats. Here's a real bad one. I think we're going to have to test ABC out on this. We are going to have to test ABC out on this. And since he is the government, he's saying the government is going to test ABC out on this. Then he says, let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This sounds even more lucrative. So he's saying that last time he went after him, they gave him $16 million just because he threatened him. So he's saying that as president, I can threaten this company and they will give me money for no other reason than me just threatening them to extort money out of them. I have no idea why he would have posted this. He's admitting that he's shaking a business down for money. But okay, let's get to whether what he's saying here is factual or not. And if it isn't, whether he's either purposely trying to scam the people who are reading this, his own followers, or whether he's been scammed himself and he just doesn't know any better. Here he says, I can't believe ABC fake news gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. Well, that's obviously not true. He doesn't work for ABC News. I don't know. Trump is pretty news oriented. I think he thinks that news organizations are these huge, everybody watches them. I don't think he realizes how low a ratings all these news programs get. But just saying that ABC News gave Jimmy his job back is completely misleading. In this case, I'm not 100% positive if he's trying to scam you or if he just doesn't know the difference. Here he says, why would they want someone back who does so poorly, who's not funny? Who's not funny is speculative. I mean, I think it'd be pretty easy to argue that people do think he's funny. He's a pretty popular guy. He hosts the Emmys and everything like that, so people tend to like him, and it's speculative funny. But let's see, does he do poorly? That's something we can look up. I assume he's talking about ratings. According to Nielsen reports, Kimmel's show was the second highest rated show for any nighttime show. Only second to the Colbert Report, and when that got canceled, Jimmy Kimmel's show then was obviously the number one rated show. So he's completely wrong there. You can't call the highest rated or the second highest rated nighttime talk show poorly rated. Here he says, let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings. So that's much more clear that he's talking about ratings. And again, you're talking about the second highest rated, the highest rated nighttime show when it was canceled. So he's lying there. Now, what I've seen him say in the past is that Kimmel's ratings have been falling for a long time. And this is true, but it's true with all television programs. Since streaming has come out and YouTube and everything, more and more people are watching streaming than watching live broadcasts. So all live broadcasts have been declining over time. But let's take this piece by piece. First, let's just go with live viewership, right? Jimmy Kimmel Live 11:35 to 12:35 a.m., he was getting about 1.2 million views. Another show that Trump would probably like is Fox News at Night, on at the same time, 1.5 million views. So both shows were basically getting around the same number of views. So for Trump to say that Jimmy Kimmel his show should be canceled because his viewership is so low, then he should be saying that Fox News at Night should also be canceled because its viewership is so low, and he likely wouldn't say that. So what he's doing is he's inventing an excuse for his thought process that is fake. He's faking a reason because he doesn't want to tell you the real reason why he doesn't like the show. But again, the issue here is Trump will bring up that his ratings have been declining, and that's true, but that's because of streaming and everybody's is going down. If you look at Kimmel's YouTube channel, each video gets about 1.7 million views. So it would seem like about 50% of his audience is watching in real time and the other 50% is now streaming. If that's the case, you would expect his TV viewership to decrease by about 50% if 50% of the people are now streaming, which would really mean that there was no decrease at all in viewership. A lot of revenue is generated through these social media platforms. So this is money that the company is making. And if we look at, say, YouTube, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, he'd get about 112,000 views per video. Colbert would get 313,000 views per video, whereas Kimmel gets 1.76 million views per video. So that's significantly more lucrative. I mean, more lucrative than the other two combined. More lucrative than the other two combined and doubled. Now, if you want to compare this to like a popular conservative YouTube channel, Charlie Kirk's channel averaged about 57,000 views per video. So it would be improper to say that 1.6 million is so low that, that person should be fired, but 57,000 is so high that person should be valued. It's just disingenuous. So what did we see here? Well, in this case, Trump is a cheat. He's definitely trying to manipulate the audience, and he's not being honest. We see context omission. This is when you intentionally remove context in order to fake a result. Kimmel's numbers have been declining, but I won't mention that all shows have been declining, or even that Kimmel's numbers might be declining less quickly. If you wanted to hurt a rival company, you could mention that their stock has been falling, but omit that all stocks are down, and maybe this particular stock is holding up better than yours. This is a clear attempt to manipulate the audience. We see a double standard here too. We see him saying that Kimmel should be fired due to his low ratings, but we see his ratings, especially streaming, are far above other platforms. He's suggesting that 1.7 million for Kimmel is too low, but 57K for another program is amazing. This happens a lot with people who have strong biases. You'll see people say, it was not okay for President A to do this, but if President B does the exact same thing, then they're suddenly fine with it. Lastly, we see rationalization. This is when you make up another reason to support your views other than the actual reasons. This happens a lot with bigots. They're understandably ashamed of their bigotry, so they try to excuse it by making up other fake reasons. For example, some early sports owners were honest and admitted they wouldn't hire a black athlete simply because they were black, but others tries to make the claim that black athletes simply were not as talented as white athletes. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe. If you have any videos or topics that you'd like me to take a look at, please leave them in the comments below.